Hello, and welcome to Floss Tube number 3 here on Stitching for Relaxation. I'm Ken, and I'm coming to you today from my office. I needed to come in and figure out what I'm actually playing for offertory tomorrow at my church job. And so while I was here, I just decided to bring everything and see what we could put together and get a floss tube done and put together. So it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you. Things have been okay around here. I got back from fall break. Flight back from Arkansas was pretty non-eventful. It just was, I ran into typical delays like you normally would through DFW. Um, nothing nothing out of the ordinary since then. Just came back into a really busy season. Here in the office, a couple of recitals and competitions coming up. So rehearsals have been um, heavier than normal. So here we go. Boy, I'm pausing a lot. We'll try to correct that. But there's another one. I'm glad. I'm actually pretty pleased with the amount of stitching that I've gotten done. So, without any further ado, let's just dump in, maybe even more appropriate, and look at some the stitching that I've done. And let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. So, while I was in Arkansas, my project of the week there was Liberty Lane from Country Cottage Needleworks. Since I was flying home on Sunday, I didn't have a chance to start anything new for the week. So I continued working in the airport and on the flights on this piece. So I got a little further than when you last saw it. Um, and so here's where things are now. Oh, it helps when I get it up there. Haha. So I got the rest of the Liberty done. The bee was a bit of a bear for me to stitch. I could not count to save my life. The checkerboard pattern at the bottom actually went much quicker than I thought it would, and so that was just part of some friendly conversation while we were waiting on delayed flights. I finished up the last of the White House and got a very good start on that fourth blue house. I was really pleased with how that went. Nothing, nothing out of the ordinary with it. I wanted to do some more of the bunting at the top, but with the Q snap, it was it wouldn't fit in the Q snap easily, and so I really need to use a hoop, I think, when I do that. That'll be coming up again here in a few weeks. So once I got back home to Texas, the plan was to pick up I'll Be Home from Twin Peaks Primitive. I am doing all 12 houses on a single piece. And so I'm folding up this piece of fabric because it is massive. But this is what I've got so far. So I finished up the February house, which was more challenging than I thought it would be. I had the first section with the door there on your right side done, and about the first couple of letters of February written in, and then I had to move everything else over the week to the left and just keep stitching. It's not a hard stitch at all. It's just because it's blocks and blocks of colors, I find myself getting really bored with it. And I absolutely despise stitching those borders. I can never get them to line up on the first shot. And so, yeah, we won't talk about the amount of frogging that went on in my world that week. So this week, I decided I needed something a little smaller, um, and something that I've been trying to avoid really. Um, it's not a new start, but it is a caroling trio from Mill Hill's Button and Beads Winter Series. This is what it's actually going to look like. In case you can't tell by where I am, I have a huge grand piano here behind me. I am a musician. It's what I do. Um, and I love every bit of it. But for some reason, this stitch has just given me fits. So, um, when I started, I had a little bit of the dog's head and most of the sweater completed. So this week I continued working. Yeah, that works. I finished up most of his scarf and got some of the background done here on the right side, um, and stitched all of this of the bear's head. Um, so the instructions are pretty clear that you need to leave all the gaps in order to go back and put in the beading. This is my first Mill Hill project. This is a first in a lot of ways. First Mill Hill, first um, experience with perforated paper, and my first project that I'm having to stitch in hand. Um, I'm liking the Mill Hill. It's easy enough to read. It's easy enough to the pattern is easy enough to read and to follow now that I figured out which symbols are beads and what stitching and yeah, all that. Perforated paper, I didn't like it when I first started because I didn't like the texture and the rigidity of it. But now that I've come back to it after a long time away from it, um, it's not been so bad. I'm actually kind of enjoying working on this smaller project, and I think I'm also enjoying working on something that's just a little more um fluff, shall we say, a little more just relaxed. So that's been nice. While I have enjoyed stitching on it, I think I'm gonna put it away for a while. That in case you haven't figured that out, that's kind of my modus operandi. I work for a week or two max on a project, and then I'm bored with it and I put it away. Um, except for this one that I'm about to show you. I guess I've caught the bug of doing full coverage designs. Now that I've found markup on the iPad, um, it's making the process of working with part threads a lot easier and more enjoyable, honestly. Um, so I can't believe that I'm telling you that I'm enjoying working on something this complicated, because normally I would look at this and say, oh God, no. Sorry, I'm trying to make my part threads look a little bit more presentable before I show you. This is still in the Q snout, and I'm not about to take it out because I will be working on it some more tonight. I did take off the grime guard, so you wouldn't have to look at the bad shower cap. But this is my progress on Heaven and Earth Designs Bookstore Kid. It's one of the storybook designs. And this is where I am. And let's see if does that help? Yeah, it makes it a little better anyway. So I've gotten some significant progress here on the bookshelves themselves. And then in the picture, this is a mirror, but this reminds me more of like a window than anything. I decided to go diagonal stitches on this project a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really enjoying that part of the process. When I was just going vertically down lines, yeah, it was a little easier to just work straight down. and I wasn't noticing any lines, but I was getting bored with just having the same colors all the time. And so now that I've begun doing this, um, I'm finding that it's just when I'm starting to get tired of working with a certain color, then there's a new color palette that's being introduced in. So in the past 2 weeks, I've gotten just over 1,600 stitches into this project, which I'm thrilled about. I work in 100 block squares, or I guess it's um, rhombuses, maybe is the correct description for it. Um, I'm a slow stitcher with confetti. It'll take me about 2 hours to do a 100 count square thereabout. Um, but that's just about the perfect time, the perfect amount of time for me when I come home from work after a long day to just get some dinner and then just sit down with my stitching and work. So the process I've fallen into right now is that my project of the week, I stitch on in the morning before I come to work, and throughout the day, if I have an extended lunch break, or if I get home early and have some time before dinner, um, then that's when I work. And then after dinner, I turn my attention to my Heaven and Earth design. So that's what I've been working on for the past 2 weeks. Like I said, it's 4 different projects. I'm actually really happy with the progress I've made. Um, a little concerned about what's to come, but we'll see. Um, so I need to show you some of my haul. Um, yeah, I've kind of gone crazy, I'm afraid to say. Um, so because I've got so many large projects, I kind of felt the need to do or to get some things that were just small and a little simpler. Um, so I found when I went to Hobby Lobby, this simple little pattern from Cross Stitch Style. And it's just kind of little roses in a heart shape on a blue background. The wood ornament is included, and so I think that's going to be intriguing after coming off of the perforated paper to actually work and to stitch directly onto a wood ornament from what it looks like. And there are holes in that, so I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Thank heavens for an instructional booklet to tell me what I'm doing. But yeah, I thought this was really cute, and thought it would be something pretty easy, I hope, to make and put together, um, maybe over Thanksgiving holidays, while family's around, something that'll not require a lot of thinking, but that I can do pretty quickly. I also picked up from Dufton the Scarecrow pack. I just think the Scarecrow is precious, and I love the pumpkins and the flowers at the bottom, as well as those crows themselves, just sitting there looking at them like, what are you going to do? And again, this is from Dufton. It was about $10 at Hobby Lobby, not terribly expensive. Then I went down the rabbit hole on 123 Stitch, and because I needed to order some fabric, yeah, for one of the projects that you're about to see that I've also bought. Um, and I went to Hobby Lobby for these while I was kitting up, getting floss for a couple of things. I was looking for something fall, and I found Scarecrow and Friends by the Calico Confectionery, um, designed by Marcy Pashong. And I just think it's so cute and really festive. I like the bright oranges that are there with the yellows. It's all DMC threads. This is just printed on cardstock, which is something I'm not crazy about. This is just cardstock, and then the pattern is just right here on the back, um, in black and white. It's not it's not going to be my favorite pattern in the world to work on, but I think the final product is really cute. Um, and then after finishing up the fall typography poster that I did a few weeks ago, um, I started looking actually for other posters like that for each of the seasons. I liked the way that there were descriptions and just words without lots of visuals. Um, that designer only has the one for fall. I found a couple of others that were similar, but they would be it would be a different enough style that I'd have to do the entire series from this new designer. Um, and I'm not really ready to do that right now. So while I was searching for that, I discovered that the Drawn Thread has 4 seasonal gardens, and I'm a sucker for a garden. And so I decided to pick up the summer garden, and I just love the house and those flowers and the birds, if you can see them in there. Um, it's beautiful. And I like all 4 of them being in a single set, um, where they would kind of be the same size and work interchangeably. What I didn't realize, is that this is going to be my first foray into some specialty stitches. Um, there are really good, I'll just flash this up there. There are really good instructions on how to do them. So I'm not terribly scared of them. But this is not a project that I'm going to be starting right away. But I saw it in both of these when I saw them on 123 Stitch. I knew I wanted to grab them up before I forgot about them. Um, and the other Drawn Thread gardens are in my wish list. They're on 123. So I'll take some more of a look at the actual pattern for the summer one to see if I want to go ahead and order the other 3 before they go away. Um, and then I started going through my wish list that I just have on my phone and found some digital things. And so let me share my screen here so we can look at some of these as well. So this is Black Work Heart, and I'm gonna hide my face for a little while. This is Black Work Heart from peppermintpurple.com. And I just it's a freebie on their website, which is peppermintpurple.co.uk. And it's an introduction to black work, which now that I've gotten the pattern, I've figured out that's basically just back stitching for most of us. So yeah, I thought it would be a pretty easy thing to start with. This was not the design that sent me looking here. I had actually found earlier, it's called Mini Rainbow Quilt from Peppermint Purple, um, that I really just fell in love with and liked a lot. But when I noticed that there was this kind of introductory pattern for free, if you don't know that you want to do black work, this is a great one to start with. So I was like, okay, I like it enough. Let's give it a try on some cheap Ada. There's only 10 colors in it, so it wasn't going to be a big investment. Um, and so yeah, this will probably be started this week, um, as a new start because I'm itching for something new. Because I've been enjoying the work on the Heaven and Earth design so much, I went and looked at some other things, and I'm a sucker for Christmas. This is Christmas Lane. Um, it is by Donna Kelsinger. The design is by Sayeda, of course. Um, and I love snowman anyway. When we decorate my parents' house for Christmas, snowmen and snowflakes are the major theme throughout the house. And so not anytime soon, but this will be a nice addition when I get that done. 88 colors, 22 by 29 and a fourth on 25 count fabric, which is about the size I think I'll probably do. This would have been a new start until I ran across the conservatory, and I absolutely fell in love with this pattern. I love just the brightness and the greens and the blues and the reds and the purples. Um, and I just couldn't say no. So, and the little teacup and the cupcake, oh my God. And then all of these little flower vases back here. I'm not excited about stitching this carpet. Not excited about that yet, but I'll get there. Um, so this is original artwork by Dominic Davison. Um, again, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The finished size, it's 800 by 571 stitches, which will come out to be 32 by 22 and 3/4 on 25 count with 89 colors. I am obviously doing this in all the called for colors. Um, and yeah, I am crazy, and I've purchased all of the threads yesterday. My fabric came in the mail today. I'm just waiting for a new batch of floss drops to come in. Um, and I'll be starting another HAED. Uh, we'll see. Heaven and the storybook kids, the bookstore kids is at, I think the pattern keeper says 8%. So it's not even close, but I'm almost all the way across the top. Um, so that's giving me some courage to start a new one. So what's coming up in the next 2 weeks? So this is going to be a short video, and I like them this way. So this coming week is very full for me professionally. On Monday night, I'll be playing a trombone studio recital with the students at Texas Tech University, about 10 or 11 students. So that's just a matter of getting it done. That the rehearsal and learning has already happened. Then on Wednesday, I'll be leaving for Denton, Texas, for the National Association of Teachers of Singing's competition being held at the University of North Texas. So I will be there Wednesday through, we'll come back home Sunday morning. Competition is Thursday through Saturday. Depending upon how my students do on the first day or so, depends upon how busy I am into the end of the week. I'm playing for 9 students, so students from my job here, as well as from West Texas A&M at North and Canyon, and I'm meeting a couple of students from Oklahoma State University who are coming in, and I'll be playing for them as well. So we'll see what happens. So for my stitching, since I'm gonna be traveling so much this week, I need to take something relatively small that's self-contained. So I'm gonna go back and grab continue working on Count Your Blessings. I in the future I will have photos of where things are currently, so you can see those. And then the following week, I'll be going back to the I'll be home and working on the March house. I'll be back here by then and can deal with the big fabric. And of course, I'm going to continue to work on the HAED. I might start um, the black work project and take that with me just because it's different and it looks like it'll move pretty quickly. Um, if I can't avoid it, I may start the conservatory. We'll see. Um, Probably not though. I don't think I want to take that on the road. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you, to hear what you have to say. If you like what you're seeing, um, hit the subscribe button down below and get notified when I'm back. Um, I'll see you again in about 2 weeks and let you know how things went. Hope you all have a great week. Bye bye.